Today's teaching is going to be for you if you're someone who really doesn't like your job, but you want to step into your soul mission. You want to be like really fulfilling the role that you're here to do on earth, but you just feel strapped in a job that you don't like. So I've worked with so many people in this area, so this is going to be a really juicy video. I've got lots of good stuff for you. As a reminder, we're going to be going deeply into this in Divinely Funded about how you fund your soul mission and how you can create your life based around your soul mission, incorporating wealth consciousness, allowing yourself to be divinely funded. And I noticed the word allowing. This is really important. So I've got a couple of keys that I want you to remember if you're sitting in a space where you don't like your job and you want to, you're like, I'm here for something. So the first thing is, you need to get clear on what you want. You really need to get clear on what you desire, and don't limit yourself. It's okay if you don't know how that's going to happen. So for example, why don't you like your job? Do you not want to have a job? Do you not want to work for someone else? Do you want to have your own business? Or do you just want to be working in a different type of environment? You need to get clear on what you actually desire. So for me at first, I didn't like the particular job I was in, but I did know wait a minute. Pretty quickly after I started working out of college, I was like, this doesn't seem right. I have to ask for vacation time. I'm working my butt off for you, and I have to ask for I have to request to be sick. Anyways, so for me, I knew pretty quickly that working for someone else wasn't my thing. However, for you might not mind that. You might just want to be in better working conditions. For me, I found myself, I was like, I don't like my job. And then I asked myself, what do I want? And even though at the time I was at a job that was a really, really good job actually to have. And I was like, this is as good as it's going to get. This is pretty much as good as it's going to get in terms of a job for me. And I'm still not happy. So what do I want? And the answer was, I want to work for myself. I want to create my own business. But the answer also could have been, I want to work in a place where I feel fulfilled. I want to work in a place where X, insert fill in the blank, is valued more. I want to work in a place that's supporting a cause that I really care about. So you need to get really clear about what you actually want, okay? Then you want to think about what is your mission? And you might not know. A lot of times we feel called. For me, it was, I heard the physical phrase, you're here for something so much bigger. But I didn't know what it was. I was like, I know I'm called to something bigger, but I don't actually know what that is. So you might just feel the calling to something. You don't necessarily have to know what it is. What that means is you're just going to go on an exploration to find it, which is pretty fun. And also once you find it, it might keep changing. It might keep evolving as you evolve. So to me, what's most helpful is looking at the essence. What is the essence of what I'm here for? What is the essence of what I'm here to bring? So for me, that's the spirit of freedom. It's a spirit of adventure. It's the spirit of passion. It's the spirit of helping to free people. And I can do that in so many different ways. It's helping people break out of the molds and create a life by their design. And I can do that in a lot of different ways, right? As I evolve, that mission, what I would name it, probably evolves, but it's the same essence. So for you, what is the essence of what you feel that you're here to do? If you don't know, it's okay, but you probably have some sort of feeling, and you will know okay, I want a job that gives me more vacation time, or I want a job where I have a window in my office, or I want a job where it's not so much the window in the office, but it's what do you want to be contributing with the work that you're doing for 8 hours plus per day? What do you want that impact to be? That's really where your mission is really going to land. So there's so many things that we could talk about here. I came up with 3 little keys, but I'm there's 300. I used to coach people on this, and there's so many little nuanced areas, but okay, let me stick to my 3 principles for today. We'll talk about more, and stay tuned to the rest of this week and next week, because I'll keep delivering information about this for you. So Be your mission. You are your mission everywhere you go. Whether you're in the grocery store, whether you're at work, whether you're cooking dinner for your family, whether you're laying in the bed, like watching TV, you are your mission. So how can you bring that essence of your mission into everything that you do? That's really the real work. And so how can you bring that mission into your job? So first you thought about, what do I want for my job? Do I want to have my own business? Do I want a different experience of a job? Do I want to be more hands-on? Do I want to be like, what do you want? Then how can I bring my mission into this job? How can I start sharing more of my true essence? Because a lot of times we're like wrapped up in this pretty little suit, or we're just in our like professional version of ourselves, but we're like stuffing down so many elements of ourselves that actually might be really valuable. So how can you bring your mission to work? For me, this started out very, very small. I was in this particular timing, I was in the space where I didn't know what my mission was, but I knew the energy of it. And I was like, I want to feel better in my workspace. So I brought my salt lamp and I brought my crystals, and that's all I knew to do at the time. This seems like so silly, but it changed the whole atmosphere. And then guess what happened? After that, people started coming over like, what's this lamp thing that you have here? And I'm like, oh, it's a salt lamp, and it actually protects you from these types of, this type of energy. What are those rocks you have on your desk? Oh, they're crystals, and they actually each give off a different energy. And I started sharing it, and that was actually sharing my mission at that time. I was teaching people about healing modalities that they would have found eventually, but they didn't have access to right at that time, or they didn't understand. And I was there to tell them to show them in a loving way, right? Also, it might have looked like, how can I practice my mission internally? Because it really starts with ourselves before we can share it with other people. So for me, in that example, honoring that in myself and getting curious about it, and then bringing it out externally. But then it was also, how do I bring this healing energy within? So when I would get an email that, frustrated me in the past, instead I would sit and really look at, like, why am I letting this bother me? And I would bring all the personal growth work that I was doing into the workplace, which you guys probably already do this. This is just like an example. So then when other people came to me, like, did you get this email that she sent? Oh, it's so annoying. I can't believe that they're doing this again. It's like, well, and then, you can bring that energy to other people and help support them with it. Of course, not in like a preachy way, but in a way that actually will be supportive and helpful to someone else. So how can you bring your mission into what you're doing? If your mission is around environmental health, you could like start making suggestions about if you're using like styrofoam coffee cups in the break room, like, hey, we should actually be using this type of coffee cup because this is more sustainable. Oh my God, I'm just remembering, like, at my old work, I totally forgot about this until right now. At my old work, there was like 1 million Starbucks paper cups. They had like these Starbucks refillable coffee things in our kitchen, and there were all these paper cups. And I remember I wrote and taped on the machine, bring a mug, like save a tree, bring your mug and just use your mug, because it would make me so mad because people would keep getting these paper cups and just throw them away. And I'm like, just get a mug. Like, you don't need it to be a paper cup. But what I did in that moment was probably annoy some people, but also, more importantly, I embedded that idea that they should be using a mug instead of something that they're just throwing away. This like, oh, no big deal, let me just throw this away every 5 seconds. So you can bring your mission, whatever it might be, even if you don't know what it is, into your job. Start revealing who you actually are, who you truly are. This is so important, because if you also like, you need to start practicing doing this in your daily life and all of the little components of your life, and notice where you have trouble doing this, because in certain places it might be easier for you to do it at work, but harder to do at home with your family or with your parents or with certain groups of friends. And so stretching yourself to be as much you as you can possibly be, because truly you are your mission. Truly, like, your soul's expression is the essence of your mission. And if you're being yourself, then you're spreading that mission. So for me, actually, we don't have time for that. I'm running out of time. Okay. The second thing you need to think about is you're always choosing. You're choosing to be at that job. So it's really easy to be like, this job sucks. I don't like my coworkers. I hate what I'm doing. I'm not making an impact. I'm not doing what I'm here for. But you're choosing to be there. So why are you choosing to be there? There's a reason that you're there, and it's important to dig in. Well, I'm here because I need money. I need to pay my bills. Okay, but you could get any job. You could make money in a million ways. Why are you there? Because I don't feel like applying for other jobs. Okay, well, there's something for you to look at. Then instead of complaining, it's like, you see, I'm at this job, I don't like it, and I'm complaining about it, and I'm saying I want to be in my mission, but I could actually apply for all these other positions that would be more in line with what I'm here for. Or maybe it's like, I'm afraid to go out into my mission. I'm afraid to leave this because it feels really comfortable. I'm afraid to disappoint the people around me. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to hear a bunch of backlash from people around me if I leave this really awesome job. Get clear on why you were choosing to be there. And then also when you're complaining or when you're like feeling upset that you're not able to step into your mission, remind yourself, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing to be here. Okay, then the last thing, real quick, running out of time. There's so much to say. I could talk for 4 hours about this. And I'm going to talk for 2 hours about it on this free seminar on Saturday. It's called, what is it called? We're calling in basically divine funding. For my program, Divinely Funded, this is a preview call. It's going to be packed with value. Basically, we're going to talk about anchoring wealth consciousness into your life so that God can fund you in being in your highest mission, no matter what that looks like. Really becoming a leader and owning your personal leadership. So anyways, I am going to talk about this for like 2 hours on Saturday. It's going to be a really beautiful masterclass. So join at the link in my bio if you want to come to that. So the last thing I want to share is stepping into the role of a creator. We're pretty much like programmed to think that life is like happening to us, and it's like, no, I'm creating what I want. So if I'm creating my life, if I'm creating this experience, what do I want to create? What type of job do I want to be at? What type of business do I want to create? What do I want my days to look like? What do I want my life to look like? How do I want to experience my day? How do I want my schedule to be? Stepping into the role of creator, and it's like, you can't blame anyone else. If you don't like your boss, you don't need to work there. It's really taking ownership. But I love to think of this as creator consciousness, like the God within us, the source energy that grows the grass, that grows our fingernails. This is the creative force and essence and at play. And how can we utilize that in our own life? How do we call upon that energy to manifest? That's what Divinely Funded is all about. How do we work with this energy to divinely fund what we are here to do, the change that we're here to make, whether that's with your family, at your job, owning your own business, doesn't matter what it looks like, but you have a sacred role, a sacred task that you're here to express, and it will change the world. And it's the leadership that we really need in the world today. All of us to step into our divine leadership in whatever way that our soul has designed for us to do. So that's what Divinely Funded is about. The early birds discount ends on November 6th, this Saturday. And that's also the same day as the seminar. So if you want to check the seminar out and then see if it's for you, amazing. You can sign up for both at the link in my bio. And the next 3 people who join and pay in full are going to get a free Akashic record reading with me, which is worth over $300. So that's like a super awesome perk that you'll get. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to message me. We can hop on a quick call to see if it's for you, or you can just ask me any questions you've got about it. But it's a really powerful program working with goddess energy, God energy, creator consciousness, miracle consciousness, and allowing ourselves to attract like miraculous sums of money to support our divine mission. And it's really changing the whole paradigm of how money works and how work is meant to be and what we're actually here for. So very special. Okay, I'm out of time. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your night. Share this if it helps you, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video.